Hey guys, welcome back to Wood Street Farm. I'm Phil. In today's video, I've got a new tool that's going to make us more productive, possibly more profitable in the wood yard with the firewood business. So stick around, show you what it's all about. On another video coming up, I'm going to have to tell you guys a little bit about this recent weather we had. The pond actually overflowed, washed out a little bit near the pond overflow, so we got some work to do. I had an irrigation pump sitting next to the pond. It got flooded, so I need to try to repair that. So lots of content for upcoming videos, not necessarily the kind of content I want to do, but as part of the life here with a farm. So in the truck here, let me show you what we're working on today. This on this pallet is the new tool for the wood yard. Let's open it up. I'll show you what's in here. We'll put it after we assemble it, we'll put it to the test, and I'll tell you what it costs and all that kind of stuff. So stick around. So let me see if I can pull this out. It's kind of heavy. All right, I'll open this up, show you what's in here. I got a few extras. Right. And just based on seeing that, some of you will know what that is. Right. A couple boxes here I know I'm not going to need right away. Open all that up, and as soon as some of you see that, you're going to know what this is. All right, that's probably the hardest part. How's that work? Oh, I know how that works. There we go, all assembled. There's not much to it. It was literally 4 bolts, putting on the handle, putting on the wrapper, and there we have a firewood bundle wrapper. In case you're still clueless about what this is the Amish built wrapper. Maybe you've seen it online if you've looked for this kind of thing before. They are for sale at woodwrapper.com. I paid full retail for this. This is not a product promotion or anything like that. So honest feedback here about how it is. So the only thing I got to figure out now is how much tension to put on that plastic wrapper, and you do that with the nut that's on the end of the whatever that spindle is that holds it. So we'll play around with that. So on the trailer right there is the only kind of bundle quality seasoned wood that I have left. I went through the pile out there. There's not a lot. There was maybe double that amount out there of what's left from last year's seasoned wood, and I pulled out all the nicest, straightest pieces to make some bundles, and whatever I make here today will be available for sale here real soon, and I'm sure they'll sell out really quick, because otherwise my website right now says I have no seasoned wood available. I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup around here, and I'll probably pull together the little bit that's out there. I have a couple little small piles of seconds. I'll fill up some totes like this with the seconds. That'll loosely filled in there is about a 1/4 cord, and I'll unload a tote or 2 of seconds, and I'll unload whatever bundles I make here, and they will all be gone. But let's quit talking and play with this thing, see how it works. pretty good. All right. Pull this thing on up. You can already tell it's not nearly tight enough. Three, still not. Alright, let's see what that does. Alright, that was 6. Which is what I usually do when I was hand wrapping. And then I just break it. Let's see how that feels. Actually feels pretty good. I can tell the first couple wraps were loose, but the bundle's tight. It's not shifting around. Get that out of the way. What if we cut it? Is that any easier? So far so good. Pretty much wrapped up everything that was on the trailer. There's about one bundle left there. And just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the initial observations here. It works as advertised. Everything you'd expect it to do, which is wrap firewood, it does. The bearings that are all on this are sealed and do have a grease fitting, a Zerk fitting on there. So there's 3 different grease points on this, and other than that, it should be pretty maintenance free. Now it is just looks like pretty simply painted steel. If this is out in the weather, it's probably going to rust in places. We do plan on putting up a building this year, and this will be under that building or inside that building when that time comes. But for now, it's going to sit outside. Probably throw a tarp or something over it, but that's about it. This came from woodwrapper.com. It's an Amish made wood wrapper out of Michigan. That's how they advertise themselves. So I did have to pay freight here to Virginia. It was like $330 flat fee for the freight, and I figured if I'm paying flat fee for the freight, I might as well go ahead and add on a couple of the extras. So they had cases of the wrap. There's 4 rolls of wrap per case. I ordered 2 cases, so I have 8 rolls to start with, and those were the white boxes that you saw at the beginning. And then the other thing that we have here, and this is why I saved 1 bundle worth of wood on the trailer, these things that I pulled off at the very beginning are so that you can line up your bundles before you put it on the wrapper. So for example, if I'm working in this kind of setup that I'm doing right now, where the wood is right next to the wrapper. It's not that big a deal just to reach over and get the wood and put it on the wrapper. But I have two of these, I forget what they're called, but two of those little metal cradles where I can assemble my bundles here, and I could do two of those right here and then bring one over to the wrapper and wrap it and immediately do the second. Or I could have a helper filling the cradles and I could be doing the wrapping. So that kind of opens up some opportunities for efficiency, which is what I'm really focused on this year. In order to grow the firewood business, I mentioned this in the last video, I need to get more efficient. So it's definitely quicker already to wrap the bundles in this fashion compared to what I was doing before. If you had seen before, I hadn't done a lot of videos with my wrapper, but it was very simple. It was just a wooden cradle that I built, and I was moving the plastic wrap around by hand, which not only is it a little bit slower, it's also easier to mess up. So I couldn't easily have helpers do the wrapping because they may not wrap it as tight as I'd like. So anyway, this hopefully brings a little bit more consistency to the process, and then I can use helpers for different parts of the process that I haven't been able to do before. Yeah, that works all right. You just got to make sure it's even when you build it, and make sure they're all put back in there when you wrap it. What did the wood wrapper cost? Of course, you guys want to know that. You can go to their website. The pricing's all on there. I'll share with you what I paid. I ordered this in December of 2023. It arrived here beginning of January 2024. So if you're watching this some years later, the pricing certainly could be different. But the base price for the Firewood Bundler was $839. The 2 cases of stretch wrap was $144. The loading tray, $45. And the subtotal for all of that, $1,028. $330 flat fee freight. I mentioned that. Of course, I think you can pick up the unit if you want to drive to Michigan, or if you're nearby or whatever, then you can save that money. But the grand total with all of that, $1,358 is what I paid. It's right here on my receipt. So that's what that cost. And like I said, hopefully it brings a pretty good efficiency to the wood yard. As soon as I have some more seasoned wood, we'll be making and selling some bundles. Subtract what I've got here today, I've still got to sell about probably at least 130, 140 bundles still in order to pay for this thing. My average is just under $10 this past year. Might go up a smidge for next year, but that's where it was. You might be wondering, or maybe you're not, but I'm going to answer the question anyway. What size bundles does this make? You know, the common sizes for bundles are usually either 3/4 of a cubic foot or 1 cubic foot, something like that. Most of your store-bought bundles are going to be on the smaller side so that they are lighter weight and easier for people to manage. I do all of my bundles by delivery. I focus on doing bigger bundles, and I also try to make that part of my value proposition when I'm selling, is telling people that the bundles they get from me delivered to their home are larger than the store-bought bundles. So that's what I've historically done. I don't have my manual old wrapper here, so I can't do one, or I can't make a quick comparison, but I've always strived to be right around 1 cubic foot. I think if I really load mine up, they might even be 1.1 cubic feet, but we'll take a quick measurement here and see how these stack up. So the width here right at the middle is right at 12 inches, and the height there of that whole thing is also right about 12 inches. So I think this might actually be a hair bigger. I might end up putting some marks in here and only stacking to a certain height, because this might actually be bigger. So if my average height is, let's say it's 11, because I'm not always going up to the full 12-inch height. But if it's 11 inches high by 12 inches wide by an average of 16 long, would put this at, crunch some numbers and put it on the screen here. That's what the cubic feet of this bundle works out to be. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. And as always, if you have feedback, suggestions for my videos, either to make them better or content I can do on a future video, I'm always open to hearing that. So thanks for watching. I appreciate you spending a little time with me. I'll see you on the next video.